director need to take lots of decisions during the process, and my best decision was to cast Lior for Michel. So I want to invite the best actor I worked with, Mr. Lior Ashkenazi.
Before we go to the audience, I'd like to ask you, because ever since I saw this film a few months ago, this question has been burning for me. You've been maybe 7 years before your last feature film. Can you speak about why you wanted to make this film and this film now?
Generally, the film was born out of a short story that happened to me a long time ago. When my eldest daughter went to school, she never woke up on time, and in order not to be late, she asked me to call for a taxi. This habit started to cost us quite a bit of money, and it seemed to me like a bad education, so one morning I got mad and told her to take the bus like everyone else do, and if that's why she'll be late, then she'll be late. Maybe she needs to learn the hard way to wake up on time. Her bus was line 5. About half an hour after she left, I hear in the radio that a terrorist blew himself up in line 5 and that dozens of people were killed. I tried to call her, of course, but the cellular operator collapsed because of the unexpected load. So I had the worst hour in my life, worse than all the Lebanon war. After 1 hour, she returned home. She missed the bus that was exploded, but in a blink. I mean, she saw the bus in the station, she waved, she ran, but the bus left the station and she took another bus. And I asked myself, later of course, what can I learn from this experience? And I understood that I can learn nothing because I saw that I did something that's right and logical to do, and suddenly... So I wanted somehow to deal with the gap between the things we control and those that beyond our control. So this was the core of the film, but then I developed it.
I saw posting online, and it's possible that this film is quite controversial. Back in Israel, would you like to speak to that or not?
Yes. I just say that someone, I don't remember who. Anyway, someone said that our mistakes are the failures of our children. So every human society should strive to be better, to improve itself, and the basic and necessary condition for improvement is the ability to accept self-criticism. But when self-criticism is marketed to the people as a betrayal, and when critics consider to be traitors, you have no chance of rising. Just bend, sink, and roll down till the mud where you bury your true will swallow you up. So if I criticize the place I live, I do it because I worry, I do it because I want to protect it, I do it from love.
Some of the longer takes, especially the ones at the beginning of the film, especially the ones with the father when he's mourning, his hand under the water. Did you do a lot of takes for those, or?
Generally, I have my way of working with my actors. I don't turn off the camera between the takes. I just say first position, make a brief comment, and do another take. I'm talking during the shot. I stress the actor, I describe him, what he's going through, and what he feels. and I do it very personally, but on the character context, of course. I turn the shot into a session. The actor does not know when the cut will release him until he does not care anymore. I believe that when you are going through a difficulty, physical or mental, even extreme difficulty, at some point you will get to a stage that you are just there and live the moment, and from this area, from this zone, you can produce diamonds. But I can say that my shooting, basically my shooting approach is quite simple. I start each shooting day with a simple decision. I won't say cut until the shot will come out perfect. I won't compromise on less than perfect. The only scenario in which I will stop filming the shot without feeling full satisfaction is if an ambulance arrives and two big guys with white coat will drag me off my monitor. So if you start your shooting day with such a decision, so you have high chances to achieve your goals.
Lior, if I can say, you're one of Israel's most acclaimed actors. You've been here in Toronto many times with wonderful films, so welcome back. But this method of working that he's just describing, was this new for you? And can you speak a little bit, perhaps? This is a remarkable performance you give on the screen.
Thank you. Well, it's kind of unique work. I never worked that kind of. I never had. I mean, it's not usual kind of a work of, you know, we're doing takes, like the director said, action, and then you start your take, going to the end, cut. We're talking a bit on the scene, but the camera starts rolling, said action, and you're doing the scene, but you don't hear a cut. And then Samuel usually says, from the top, again, from the top. Now, in the silent scenes where I'm not speaking, he's on the background, actually. So, and he's like talking to me as Michel, as the character, as like, you know, your son is dead, it's because of you, you're devastated. It's like, so I need time to get used to it. But I mean, when you get used to it, there's a moment that you don't know where you are, with how many takes you've done. It's kind of business you say? Yeah. You don't know. I mean, and you're out of, you don't know what you're doing, actually. It's not about, I mean, I didn't act as in the usual way of acting, because he was always, you know, on the background. So.
That's a great question. She's wondering, is it common practice in Israel, and when your child dies in their service, does the army come to your house, all the things they did for the mother? Is this how it normally is?
More or less, yes.
Almost exactly, like you saw in the movie. There's actually a special unit that is always on standby, waiting for, you know, to go to say to the family, your son is dead. There's a psychologist, there's a doctor, and there's, after that, there's this administrative funeral officer, which is from the Rabbanut, how you say?
Yeah.
But this is the most difficult job for a soldier.
Question. There's a very memorable sequence where we were introduced to Jonathan's character, the dancing. He's wondering how that came about. Where did that come from?
From my inner world, I think.
Okay.
I saw that somehow I'm breaking a kind of promise, because you thought that you are going to see a film, and then you understand that this is not the film that you saw that you are going to see, and suddenly I cut to something totally else. So I need to catch you immediately. Yes. Because if I won't do it, I will lose the audience. Yes. So
let me just say, Yonatan, Shiray, the boy who plays the son, is serving in the army now, so he couldn't be here. Oh. But we have the commander of the unit, Geffen, to say hello.
Hello. Hello.
The stage.
Come to the stage, please.
Let us see.
Come.
Yeah.
He's with long hair now, so.
My job is so full of surprises, I can't ever imagine. That's wonderful. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, come on.
Shy.
Congratulations.